Hello, folks. I want to talk to you a little bit about qualitative research. Today's topic. Um, Qualitative research, the like all kinds of research, there are people who love it and there are people who do not like it at all. And even people like myself who have actually published qualitative research. And as you saw, early on, my dissertation was actually qualitative. Sometimes people assume that I don't like qualitative research, which really isn't true. Uh, if I could do one type of research for the rest of my career, it would actually probably be qualitative research. And as you're going to see in the other video, I'm a big fan of ethnography, and there's so much we wouldn't know about the world if it weren't for ethnography. So, the chapter on qualitative research does a great job of going over the basics. And then the activity, you get to actually practice some of this. So, once again, I try to make the activities really engaging. I hope they are thought-provoking, and to get you not only thinking about stuff but doing some things maybe you haven't done before. Uh, so I really mean it when I say enjoy that. So and go at qualitative research with an open mind. Many people, unfortunately, pursue qualitative research solely for the reason of that they don't like statistics, and that's really not the reason to pursue qualitative research. I mean, as with all research, as all you've heard me say and we'll say again, it's about what's the question you're trying to answer. So that's really important to keep in mind. So, I really personally became interested in qualitative research because when I may have mentioned it before, but in my master's program, I was working in an anthropology and sociology department, and I actually wanted to study militia groups, and simply the best way to be able to do that was to pursue to do qualitative research, which could have been actually pretty dangerous, and so that's interesting. It could have been dangerous. You don't really think about things such as that when you're talking about analyzing data or statistical data. So, in over the years, I've developed some frustrations with qualitative research, largely because of the quality of much of it you see. Um, Often, not oftentimes, but I have seen examples where people do a dissertation and their sources of data for qualitative research were a couple or a few interviews. Um, I'm not going to knock on that type of research, but that's not the kind of qualitative research I like the most. I'll just put it that way. I really feel like to do good qualitative research, you really need to spend a lot of time in a particular environment, observing and writing and reflecting and writing some more, and then observing some more to where what's called saturation of the data, where you really don't see anything new. So when I was doing my dissertation, I did that in alternative schools. I mean, lots and lots of time in alternative schools, and lots of field notes, tons of interviews with people. So the data source within qualitative research is actually that your notes from your observations, your transcripts from your interviews, and that's what you use to draw conclusions. And it should be a really fun, I think, fun process. I mean, because chances are you're putting yourself in environments you're not super familiar with. There's a risk of that, of course, of not as a researcher, not, I guess, behaving appropriately if you're ignorant about a particular context. So, you certainly would never want to put yourself in that situation. But I would say some of the best research is qualitative research. Unfortunately, within our field and a lot of other fields, uh, qualitative research is probably embraced more in education than some of the other social sciences. However, if you're really just a qualitative researcher, it's really hard to publish because it takes so much time and effort. And when you're in, like I and others are, in a tenure track position, the expectation is that you publish, pretty often. So it's kind of hard to engage in this type of research, and I honestly don't see a lot of faculty doing it, which is kind of unfortunate. Now, other types of historical research may also fall under qualitative research, where doing archival research. That kind of depends on how you define qualitative research, or really what your methodology is within doing that. But doing true ethnographic work is pretty challenging, and I mean, honestly, for someone like me, it's much easier to collect data and write quantitative articles. But that's, as I said, that's not necessarily the most fun. So as you go out and do these activities this week, really you're developing a couple of protocols and interview protocols. So these are open-ended. My basic definition of qualitative research and with an interview protocol is if it has a scale, it's not qualitative. There have been other people who describe that differently, but you'll understand that more as you do the reading for this week. And then also, I'm asking you to go out and do some observations and focus on writing lots of notes. So you're going to go out and observe in just any kind of social setting, really. And I guess the ultimate skill I want you to practice is writing till there's this concept of saturation of the data, to where you're really not seeing anything new. And seriously, you can choose to observe in any social setting where there's people. So enjoy that. There's more description in the Word document. So, but go out and enjoy that. Make it fun. Something maybe you're going to do anyways, and take a crack at doing observation and collecting field notes. Another fun thing some of you might get into is drawing the layout of the environment you're in and using that as some way to actually take field notes. So enjoy that. I certainly always have. And then when you're done with your field notes and stuff and your protocol, I don't just email them to me, but also take a picture. If you want, if your field notes, if you type them up, fine, just send me the document. But say you want to write them out, take a picture and send them to me. So yeah, so enjoy that. This will also serve as quiz 2. So yeah, so it's kind of a double dipper activity. So all right, so you have another video coming up. So have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.